Happy Wednesday morning, May 27, 2020. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Wednesday morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Wednesday morning, so let's begin. First up, employees who have prolonged contact with others can now get tested for COVID-19. 4 more New Hampshire deaths connected to coronavirus announced. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Some work can't stop because our communities need you, which is why we're working to keep you working.
I don't know why it's so political. I think it's silly.
New Hampshire's governor has recommended, but not required, non-medical masks or cloth coverings be worn in public for weeks. It's in line with CDC guidance, which says studies have shown face coverings may help prevent close proximity spread of COVID-19. But resistance to do so has sparked debate, from cities and towns in New Hampshire to the White House.
It's not about who's doing it and why. It's about does it make folks healthier? We encourage folks to wear them.
Under the state's reopening guidelines, all retail employees and some workers at restaurants are required to wear face coverings. But Sununu says customers don't have to pick up the phone and snitch if those businesses fail to follow the rules.
We usually hear about it one way or the other. I'll say that, and we respond to it appropriately.
Meanwhile, companies that have or will reopen are being urged to contact DHHS to have workers that have or have had close contact with customers tested for the virus.
Testing is widely available right now. We are doing same-day testing.
The expansion for those considered high risk comes as 2 more state testing sites open in Londonderry and Keene, and the arrival of 2 million swabs over the holiday weekend.
There are so many options at this point for testing. No one should want testing and not have it.
The governor also said today the state will likely be putting out new guidance for reopening churches and lodging by the end of this week. Reporting live in Concord, Tyler Dumont, WMUR News 9.
Okay, there you go on that video and that report. 4 deaths related to COVID-19 announced in New Hampshire. 34 new cases. All new cases over 18 years old. The Department of Health and Human Services has announced 4 additional deaths related to COVID-19 in 34 new positive test results for COVID-19 in New Hampshire. There have now been 4,231 cases of COVID-19 diagnosed in New Hampshire. Several cases are still under investigation. Of the 4 additional deaths, 3 were women and 1 was a man from Hillsborough County. All were 60 years of age and older. Of the cases with complete information, all are adults, with 50% being women and 50% being men. The new cases reside in Hillsborough 17, Rockingham 10, Merrimack 3, and Stratford 2, Belmont 1, and Cowas 1. 1 new COVID-19 hospitalization was reported, with 421 of the 4,231 positive cases resulting in hospitalizations, according to health officials. Now let's take a look at your COVID-19 in New Hampshire, what you need to know information. Let's take a look at that right now. And here is a look at that information for all of you right now. There are 4,231 number of people in New Hampshire who have tested positive for COVID-19. 175,276 number of people in the United States who have tested positive. 214 number of deaths from COVID-19 in New Hampshire. 421 number of people who have been hospitalized with COVID-19 in New Hampshire. And 100,544 number of deaths from COVID-19 in the United States. This map of New Hampshire right here shows you where current cases of COVID-19 are. Manchester, 425 current cases. This map of New Hampshire right here shows you where total cases of COVID-19 are in New Hampshire. Manchester, 1051 total cases. And now let's take a look at these three charts here. Let's start with the first chart right here, new cases each day in New Hampshire. In the purple, new positive COVID-19 cases. In the orange, new hospitalizations. And in the red are the deaths. Let's take a look at this chart right here. Current cases. Current COVID-19 cases in the purple and current hospitalizations in the orange. Let's take a look at this chart here. Total cases. Total COVID-19 cases in the purple. Total hospitalizations in the orange. Red, death, and blue recovered. Age group of cases. Female and male of cases. Risk information. Race/ethnicity of cases. Hospitalizations. Deaths. Percent of New Hampshire population. And again, your common symptoms: fever, lack of smell, cough, chills, and difficult breathing. How it spreads, and prevention tips. And be sure to stay with the Riley King Network for the latest of your COVID-19 information. 1 week since restaurants began offering outside dining, some waiting to start. All grateful to loyal customers. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Some work can't stop because our communities need you, which is why we're working to keep you working, to help you keep homes and properties maintained.
It's been 1 week since the Copper Door in Bedford began offering outside seating on their patio and in the parking lot. Tables are 6 feet apart, staff are wearing masks, and cleaning is excessive.
We've expanded from what our normal seating is of around 30 to 40 seats, and we seat over 100 right now in all of our restaurants, T-Bones, CJ's, and of course, Copper Door.
Owner Tom Boucher says it's been great to see customers and his staff come back.
I'm so proud of our employees for just coming back to work, wearing the masks, making sure the sanitizer stations are out, and they're smiling behind these masks, the kitchen and the dining room.
And at Giorgio's restaurant in Manchester, they have served dozens of customers over the past week under 2 tents.
The more people we come, the longer hours we could extend, and we could be open for more and provide the great quality food that Giorgio's has been known to do for several years.
And while some restaurants are seeing success, others are delayed. The Brick Oven 1750 Tap House in Bedford just built this patio, but the approval process is taking longer than expected.
The patio is going to provide a spot for the people that are eager to get out and dine in a restaurant. That's going to provide a place for them.
Until indoor dining is allowed once again.
The governor's done a great job being very prudent and safe, but I think June is the time we need to start getting back open.
In the meantime, these 3 restaurants say they could not be more grateful for their loyal customers during this challenging process. Reporting in Bedford, Kristen Carosa, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Dow futures jump 400 points as Wall Street looks set to continue Tuesday's reopening rally. U.S. stock futures pointed to more gains at Wednesday's open as optimism about the reopening of the economy and the potential coronavirus vaccine offset concerns about raising U.S.-China tensions. Multi-state manhunt intensifies for suspect Yukon killer. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
Home tonight. There is a desperate manhunt underway right now for a college senior suspected now in 2 murders. Police have tracked him from Connecticut to New Jersey, now to Pennsylvania. Releasing new images tonight, and Ariel Reshef is in Pennsylvania.
Tonight, the urgent multi-state manhunt intensifying for suspected killer Peter Manfredonia. The FBI and local law enforcement combing Monroe County, Pennsylvania, after the University of Connecticut senior was last spotted walking near train tracks in East Stroudsburg. Police now say he got to those tracks by taking an Uber to a nearby Walmart. A 2012 Hyundai Santa Fe, then stolen from the area.
Peter has struggled with mental health issues over the past several years.
The 23-year-old a fugitive since Friday when police say he brutally assaulted 2 men in Willington, Connecticut, killing 62-year-old Ted Demers. Sunday morning, Manfredonia allegedly breaking into a home in Willington, stealing food, firearms, and a truck. And nearby, authorities discovering the suspect's childhood acquaintance, Nick Eisel, dead.
I heard a loud bang, I heard a girl scream, and then I heard 2 people kind of arguing.
Manfredonia allegedly abducting an unidentified person from that home. The victim later found unharmed in New Jersey near the Pennsylvania border.
Peter, I want you to know that we are continuing our investigation. The one thing we are missing right now is you.
And the FBI saying they want this to end peacefully, but in the meantime, they say if you see this suspect, do not approach him and call 911 immediately. David?
Ariel Reshef with us tonight. Ariel, thanks.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And thank you for joining us for this morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. Goodbye, everyone.